Happy Saturday, Evensong family. I am so happy that you're here joining us tonight. If this is your first time here, you've come to the right place. This is a beautiful community and we are going to be even better with you here. If you join us each and every week, welcome back. I hope that you'll head over to the chat and let us know who you are and where you're joining us from and who you are worshiping with. Each week at Evensong, we answer a question together to get the conversation started, check in throughout our week, and just say hello. So I'll have a question for you soon, but there are some really exciting things that I want to tell you about. The first thing is that we have started a program with East Elementary to provide weekend food bags for the kids at East. And so we need snacks that are protein-based. We need fresh fruit, healthy cereals, shelf-stable milk, anything like that we can pack into the bags and send home with kids on the weekend, and then they'll bring the bags back and we'll repack them. So if you would like to donate food for East, you can drop it by St. Andrew throughout the week and just put a label on it saying East so that we can make sure that it gets to the right place. But we are so grateful for your generosity and your support as we help make sure that no child goes hungry throughout the weekends. The next thing is we have added dates for Denver Rescue Mission. We have added some Sunday mornings through March, and we would love for you to come join us down there. It's a great way to start your day, and I know that it'll be so special for you to come be in community with our friends at Denver Rescue Mission. The last thing is that Lent is coming. Ash Wednesday is February 17th, and we have some really special things going on throughout Lent. And so start Lent with us on Ash Wednesday. We'll be posting a worship service for you here that we know will be so beautiful, and St. Andrew will have one as well. And you can go to the church to still have ashes put on your forehead. So make sure that you stay tuned for more details. We are so excited for what's coming, and we know that Lent will be more beautiful with each and every one of you. The question this week is, what is your favorite Super Bowl snack? We moved into a house when I was in 3rd grade in Ohio, and the people that sold us the house said you have to have a Super Bowl party every year and a New Year's party. That was part of buying the house, and my mom and dad did it, and so that meant that we got to pack our house with snacks. And one of my greatest memories from that is, well, one year my dad bought a giant, big screen TV, but he also got the 12-foot long subs from Subway, which I don't eat Subway now, but it's one of my most favorite memories, seeing the big giant sub and then going up, like all the kids with our grimy hands grabbing whatever piece we wanted. And so I really love that, and I always think of that giant sub on Super Bowl Sunday. So what's your favorite snack? What do you love about the Super Bowl? And you can share with us over in the chat, and we will get ready to watch a different kind of Super Bowl this year. Evensong friends, you're in for a treat tonight. Rev Mark is sharing with us, and I know that what he's going to say is going to speak directly to your heart and soul. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You are so loved, you are so important, and you matter so much. Thank you for making this community so special.
Waiting here for you. a hand lifted high in praise, and it's you we adore, singing
Hey there, Evensong family. Let me ask you a question. Do you have somebody in your life who is eager and willing to invest in you? Maybe somebody who sees in you a budding potential that with their help they can bring out in greater detail. Or somebody who understands your story and knows the trajectory of your life and wants to help you get to a different place, a higher plane. Somebody who's looking out for you and wants to see you flourish because they know that if you flourish, then the whole world becomes a more beautiful place. I studied history and religion in college, and one thing I learned about medieval and Renaissance history in particular is that the art world really proliferated during that time because of people who were known as patrons, who practiced what was called patronage. These were kings and popes and very wealthy people who invested in the artists of their day to help them produce great works of art that even today continue to inspire. Think of Michelangelo and the 12,000 square foot ceiling that he painted, or that big piece of granite that he carved into stone to reveal the image of David. These were not sort of accidental pieces of art. They were funded by people in higher places who believed in the artist and who wanted to see their work done well to share with the world, to add beauty to the world, and also to, of course, add grandeur and importance to their own status in the world and in places like cathedrals and palaces to make those magnificent structures. And so patrons were those who invested in the artists, gave them privilege and opportunity and funding to do their work well. Imagine where we would be if we didn't have patrons who invested in people like Michelangelo. Would we even have heard of Michelangelo or Da Vinci or Botticelli and others? So patrons are indispensable characters in history, but they're also indispensable in our own lives. There's a story in the Gospel of Luke, or Gospel of John, the 12th chapter. There's a story about Jesus visiting the home of Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And in this story, Jesus is hanging out, having a party with these folks when all of a sudden Mary brings to the feet of Jesus a jar of what's called spikenard, which is a very costly perfume. It came from the Himalayas. It came out to about a year's worth of wages if you were to buy this. And what Mary does is she breaks the jar open and pours the perfume over the feet of Jesus. It's this act of amazing generosity, an act of devotion and love. And in that act, she was suggesting, I think, to Jesus at maybe one of the worst and hardest moments of his earthly ministry, she was suggesting to Jesus that he was worth it and that he was worthy and that he had worth to give to the world. The story happens about a week before the arrest and crucifixion of Jesus. And Jesus must have known even then that the end was near, that the people that he came to save had mostly rejected him, that even his own disciples didn't understand him very well, and that he had more adversaries than he had followers. And so Mary, in that moment, breaks open the perfume to remind Jesus that he's worth it, that he's worthy, and that he, in his final week, has worth to give to the world. Do you have somebody like Mary, who was the patron of Jesus, investing in you in such a way that you're reminded that you are worth it and that you're worthy and that you have worth to give to the world? We need patrons in our lives to add beauty to our lives so that we can add beauty to the world. When I was about 21, almost 22 years old, in my last year of undergraduate, I was beginning to look at seminaries to study which seminary I wanted to go to in pursuit of ordained ministry. And of course, one of the biggest hurdles is the expense that it takes to go through seminary, maybe between $30,000 and $50,000 a year. And as I was beginning to lay out all my opportunities and options, which weren't great in terms of financial packages, I received a phone call from the president of the seminary that I eventually attended, Claremont School of Theology. And this president asked me to go to breakfast with him. He was on his way to China from Southern California, but had just an hour and a half to meet with me for breakfast. And over the course of an hour and a half conversation, we got to know each other. He got to know my work a little bit, what I was interested in. And by the end of that breakfast, he asked if I would be interested in going to Claremont. And I said, maybe. And he said, well, what if you were to receive the presidential scholarship? And I said, what is that? And he said, that's about $150,000 of education, a full ride. I said, how did you even find out about me? How did you even think to call me to talk about this opportunity? And he said, well, you've got somebody who thinks very highly of you, somebody that sees in you great potential, somebody who doesn't want to see you slip away to another seminary and to another geographic region, somebody who thinks that you have the potential to do great ministry in the West. And I said, who's that? And he said, His name is Bill, and he's your youth pastor. And he called me to tell me about you. Bill was, at that time in my life, a patron, and he's still one of my best friends. Somebody who looks after me, somebody who continues to lift me up and elevate me, to remind me that I'm worth it, that I'm worthy, and that I have worth to give to the world. I hope that you in your life can seek out somebody who is so indispensable like that. Somebody that you can count on to tell you the truth about who you are and what you can be. And I hope, too, that you'll invest in other people in the same way. Think of yourself as not only the one who receives from the patrons in your life, but the one who's called to go out into the world to be patrons for the next generation. I'm going to be preaching about this this weekend on the Sunday morning broadcast at 9 and 10:30. And if you want the full details, tune in at one of those times. In the meantime, remember that you are worth it, that you are worthy, and that you have worth to give to the world. Amen.
Oh,